As an infant class teacher, I am really trying out lots of ways this year of integrating and nurturing home language in my classroom. My first piece of advice is that I think you should keep it as simple as possible, especially when I have younger children who are still developing their language in their early years, and it's really important that we simplify the tasks. So the first one that comes to mind is first thing in the morning, they come in, they sit down, and you do your roll call. Your roll call, they're answering to their name, but they're going to answer by saying hello in their home language. And the repetition of that every day, children are hearing the different languages every day, and it's amazing what they take in and what they remember. So they're actually hearing lots of different languages every day, just from hello, how are you? Then it goes on to the simple interactions on the class carpet in the morning. Those kind of really natural conversations where you ask a question and they might reply with a sentence in English, but they might substitute one word for their home language. Or they might look out the window and look at the weather, and we'll all come up with, okay, one word to describe the weather, and they will include their home language in that. So it's a really simple little conversation at the start of the day. It's funny, when I talked about the roll call, there's some children continue to choose Irish as their way to say hello in the morning, which is lovely. And I encourage that, of course, because it is a part of our day that I want children to enjoy. And it's just that there's other languages we can connect to, even if it's not our home language. So I make those connections as much as I can. For me, actually, music is an amazing medium to include home languages. I think music is really powerful in kind of bringing children together, and it's just something that I'm passionate about. So when I'm choosing songs, when I'm choosing music, I'm looking for diversity within a song. Just so that different children are represented, different languages are represented, and it makes children at home in their own classroom. So a simple one there would be just choosing a song that has a few words in a different language. It could be, for us, we use Love in the school for children who use Love, the sign language, and just using Love to represent some of the words in the song. So they would be using those actions. And again, children are remembering the lyrics of the word through Love. So it's amazing to watch that. And they suppose they see that different languages being used in a different way, and it's true song, and it's just beautiful to see how they all integrate that. If you're lucky enough to have dual language books in your classroom, make sure your library is diverse, full of books from authors of different places, people of different origins. If you have dual language books, I think making sure that they're on display, children can see them, and that they can choose what they want. It doesn't have to be in their home language, it can be somebody else. A great one too that I use every month is just the language of the month. So we choose a language of the month to study. So now it's not a big study, it's just this is the language that we're going to look at this month. The children choose the language. It could be chosen from a language that somebody speaks in our class. It could be a different language altogether. And then we look at where that language is spoken. So we'll be integrating our geography skills there, looking at on the map where is it spoken. And then there would just be a few key, simple little phrases that will be displayed beside our language of the month. And if I see somebody using that phrase, during the week, there'd be a little reward on our system. So just simple things to really encourage children to appreciate the diversity of language within our classroom. Well, firstly, in my case, we have children, new children coming in and out of the classroom a lot. So the classroom is always changing, and there's always new faces. So I think they're an excellent way to encourage a new child in the classroom to just feel a little bit more at home. They see a book that might have a few words from their home language, and all of a sudden they might sit with a buddy. So you have a little buddy system. They choose a book that's from their language, so their book is in Romanian, for example. So they choose a buddy from the classroom, and they sit down with that new person, and it's just a really nice way to integrate that child into the classroom at a very early stage of his school kind of years, I guess. I guess another way as well, within the infant classroom, when we teach phonics, so for example, phonological awareness, I can see children really making connections between sounds in the book and sounds in their home language. That's a really nice one. Again, they're making connections within languages, so it's beautiful. And that's really simple. It could be just an initial sound of a word in my home language. Oh, I can see it's also in English. Where is it in the book? There it is in the book. And you can see that connection between English and Spanish, and the connection is there in the book. So you can see, because sometimes making connections is a little bit abstract for children. So when they see it on a page, it makes it so much easier for them. I think with the little ones, the most important thing is that we're fostering appreciation of language more so than remembering the words, remembering the vocabulary. Of course, the vocabulary is important and we'll pick specific vocabulary to teach, but as they go up the school, that becomes more important. Whereas in the younger years, it's, do we appreciate all the languages that are in front of us? And that, for me, is the most important thing to foster in the junior infant classroom, or senior infant classroom. And I think through Irish, through English, and the home language, that's my priority. It's, do we appreciate these languages? Can we see diversity in the world? Can we see diversity in our classroom? And then how can we appreciate that? How can we encourage it? And how can we promote it? So that's my main goal in the infant classroom. We have our oral maths, really important for children, that they're hearing numbers, that they're counting. You're using a home language if you want. You could use the home language of the month. Or it could just be a number within 1 to 10. You know, it's not about the children knowing 1 to 10 in Spanish. It's just about substituting some words, substituting some numbers from a home language. And it's really surprising how excited they get when they have a number between 1 and 10, and that they might, you know, substitute that on a Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday they remember it. That's the part where they get excited about. They remembered it from the day before. And that comes back to the appreciation of language thing, that it doesn't have to be the language that we speak at home with our adults at home. It can be the language that we speak in the classroom with our friends, because you're trying to really foster an environment of diversity and inclusion. So we have used parents in a way. For example, we would ask a parent to come in and read a simple story to the children. Read alouds are really important for the younger kids. A parent might come in and read a story in English and then a page in their home language. And that there might be one child in the classroom who hears a familiar language and might just gain that little bit, oh, I heard my language in school today. And what that conversation is going to do at home is they're going to come home from school, tell their adults that, oh, I heard my language in school today. And again, it's just that sense of community that child is going to feel about a word that they heard today in their home language. So that's one way I use parents. I mean, pre-COVID, we've had parents come in and sit with children during math stations, for example, and they might, you know, take out a box of concrete materials and start counting. And again, there might be some of those concrete materials with the labels in different languages, and that parent can just see, oh, we really are trying our best here to use different languages, and that could be within maths, it could be within reading stations, for example. We tend to do as well, it's more of a well-being one, I guess. We do compliment circles every Friday. So the children are very used to giving each other a sparkle, and the sparkle is a little compliment from the week or from the day. And again, the children need a lot of practice in this one. The idea of complimenting somebody else at a very young age can be actually quite difficult. And it's a nice one to start early. And I've had, you know, they'll say their little compliment and then thank you, and then they'll say it in either their language or they'll say it to the person that they've just complimented. So it could be, you know, merci to the person who might speak French, or it could be just thank you, and they'll reply in French. So that kind of little simple interaction, but it's true like a compliment, or it's true a well-being circle. It's another nice one I do on a Friday. Nice way to go for the weekend. In our school, we have a lot of teachers coming in and out of the classroom for different types of supports. So the children would always, you know, say goodbye to the adult that's leaving the classroom, and they'd always say thank you. I think it's such an important thing that teacher has given them a little bit of a skill today. So the children are really amazing at saying thank you, but we always choose a language before the adult leaves. So again, it's really simple. It doesn't take long. We'll say, okay, we say thank you in Spanish, and then everyone says thank you in Spanish. Just a nice one. It's just getting the children, actually as a community or as a class, together, saying the same words in the same word and in the same language, that they all have a connection there. They all have, in one part of the day, they all are able to do the same thing. Because I think for sometimes children in the class might feel a little bit, if they do feel a little bit isolated, or if they're just coming into a new classroom where they have very little English, you're looking for ways to really make them feel connected in the room. There's really small little things there, but they're all really simple, and they don't take a long time to plan. There's no planning in these things. There's no printing, there's no resources. You're just using what you have, the children. The children are your best resource. That's what I say. I guess it's, well, on a personal level, me moving I'm from the countryside, me moving into the city. Dublin is such a diverse city. You walk down the street and you can see the diversity on the street. That was there was a major shift in my mindset when that happened. Moving to a big city, being exposed to people from lots of different places, having conversations with people about their country, about things that have happened, making connections between different people. It started when I moved to Dublin. Then I guess I brought that into my teaching career, and I can see that what you see on the street is built here in the classroom. And if it's not built here, you're not going to see it out in the street. So what we do with the children, especially now, I'm loving teaching 5 and 6 year olds, because they're absorbing everything. They're listening to everything. And those foundations are built at that really young age. So I can just see my work now. I guess I can see it working. I can see it like prospering almost, because it's at that young age where they're showing it and they're giving it back to you. They want to impress you, and they want to show that you're giving them what they want, and I can really see the little ones doing that. So I guess, yeah, it's when I see this working in the classroom, when I can see the children appreciating it, then I want to do it every day. Music and dance are my two things that I'm really interested in, and I actually am an Irish dancer. And when I've travelled quite a lot with Irish dancing, and I've seen people really intrigued by Irish dancing, and almost like wanting to try it out themselves, and from people from different countries, and they wanted to try Irish dancing. And I saw this almost obsession about Irish dancing, and I was like, I just felt that this like pastime, or this type of dance, was connecting so many different types of people, and it was from Ireland. As a young child, I remember in my teenage years thinking that was fascinating, that so many different people. Like, there was people from Spain who were amazing at flamenco that were saying to me, I'm obsessed with Irish dancing. I'm like, but look at flamenco. But they were telling me that it was Irish dancing they were intrigued about. So I guess that kind of, something in my mind thought, wow, there's a connection here that when you see that appreciation of your own culture and of your own talent, I guess, from people from a different place, then you almost feel like this sense of, I guess, enthusiasm or love of your place or love of your culture. So I felt that when I got that reaction about Irish dancing. So I was like, if I can give that to a child in the classroom, that I love the language you speak, I love that word, it's so intriguing, that word is the same as my word in English, then they're going to get that same feeling I had when I was really young about Irish dancing. So I got it through dance, they might get it through language.